Welcome back, coin enthusiasts. Today, we're diving into a coin that holds not just historical significance, but also incredible value in today's market. If you're a collector or just someone looking to cash in on a rare find, the 1776 to 1976 D-Mint Mark Washington quarter dollar could be worth a small fortune. That's right, folks. The 1776 to 1976 D Washington quarter dollar, a commemorative coin marking the United States bicentennial, is much more than just a piece of history. In fact, if you have the right one, it could be worth over $1 million. But before we jump into the value and how to spot these rare coins, let's rewind and explore the history behind this incredible quarter. 1976 marked the 200th anniversary of the United States. To commemorate the nation's bicentennial, the U.S. Mint released a special series of coins, including a redesigned Washington quarter. But not all of these coins are the same, and that's where the story gets interesting. The 1776 to 1976 Washington quarter features a unique design that was specifically created to honor this milestone in U.S. history. The obverse shows a classic portrait of George Washington, but it's the reverse that gets most of the attention. The reverse side depicts a colonial drummer, a symbol of the American Revolution, along with the years 1776 and 1976 to mark the bicentennial. These coins were issued in large quantities, but not all are worth a small fortune. The key factor here is the mint mark. You see, there are variations of this coin, with different mint marks, but today, we're focusing on the 1776 to 1976 D-Mint Mark Washington quarter. Now, you might be wondering, what makes the D-Mint Mark coin worth $1 million? To understand that, we need to know a bit about how coins are minted. The D-Mint mark on this particular quarter indicates it was struck at the Denver Mint, one of the main U.S. mint facilities. The Denver Mint, known for producing coins, bars, and even gold bullion, has a rich history of minting some of the most important coins in the United States. But when it comes to the 1776 to 1976 D Washington quarter, something special happened. Despite the bicentennial quarters being produced in huge numbers, a small percentage of these D-Mint Mark quarters were struck with flaws, particularly ones that didn't meet the strict quality control standards set by the Mint. These coins, with their unique errors or rare features, are what collectors hunt for today. And that's where the value skyrockets. Some of these coins have noticeable errors, such as double strikes or off-center strikes. These mistakes are highly sought after by collectors because they're unique and, well, they're rare. Coins with these types of errors are often sold for astronomical amounts, sometimes reaching prices well above $1 million at auctions. Now, you might be wondering, how can you tell if your 1776 to 1976 D-Mint Mark Washington quarter is worth a fortune? There are a few signs to look out for. First, you need to examine the coin closely for any obvious minting errors. A major red flag is a double die or a misalignment in the design. Double die coins are especially valuable, as they were struck more than once, resulting in the image being slightly shifted. If the lettering or features on the coin appear to be doubled, you may have a gem in your hands. Another important feature to check is the condition of the coin. Coins that are graded higher, such as MS-65 or MS-66, typically fetch more money. These coins are in excellent condition, with minimal wear and tear, making them more desirable to collectors. Grading is another critical step. Coins that have been professionally graded and certified by a service like PCGS or NGC are often worth more than those that are not. A coin with a high grade means it's in pristine condition, which can greatly increase its value. If you think you have a coin with these rare traits, it's time to get it professionally appraised. But be prepared, because in some cases, you could be sitting on a gold mine. Now, just because your 1776 to 1976 D-Mint Mark Washington quarter doesn't have a minting error or flawless condition doesn't mean it's worthless. Even in average condition, these coins can be worth a few $100s, depending on their state of preservation and demand at the time. But if you've got a well-preserved, error-filled, or unique coin, you could be looking at a major payday. So, where do you go from here? If you think you have a 1776 to 1976 mint mark Washington quarter that could be worth big money, your best bet is to take it to a trusted coin dealer or auction house for evaluation. A reputable dealer can help you understand its true value and possibly help you sell it for top dollar. To wrap things up, the 1776 to 1976 mint mark Washington quarter dollar is a piece of history and a potential treasure for the right collector. Whether it's an era coin or just an exceptional condition, it's a reminder that sometimes the most valuable items are often right under our noses. So, next time you're going through your change, keep an eye out. You might just find a quarter worth $1 million. 1965 Washington quarter. Yes, the one without any mint mark, could make you $1.5 million richer? You heard that right. A coin you might have tossed in a jar or used to buy candy decades ago might just be your winning lottery ticket. In this video, we're going to dive deep into the mysterious and incredibly valuable 1965 no mint mark Washington quarter. Why is it worth so much? How can you tell if you have one of these rare coins? And most importantly, how can you sell it for a fortune? So grab your coin jars, get comfortable, and stay with me till the end. You won't believe what makes this ordinary-looking coin so extraordinary. First, let's rewind a bit and talk about the history of this coin. The Washington quarter has been in circulation since 1932, originally made of 90% silver and 10% copper. But by 1965, everything changed. Due to a massive coin shortage and rising silver prices, the U.S. Mint stopped using silver in quarters. The 1965 quarter marked the beginning of the new clad era, made of copper nickel instead of silver. But here's where it gets interesting. During the transition, a few silver planchets, the blank coins made for older quarters, were accidentally used in 1965 quarter production. And that is where the value skyrockets. So, how can a 1965 quarter, millions of which were produced, be worth $1.5 million? It all comes down to rarity, composition, and condition. Most 1965 quarters have a copper-nickel composition. But the rare and valuable ones? They were struck on 90% silver planchets, leftovers from 1964 production. These silver quarters weigh slightly more, about 6.25 grams instead of the typical 5.67 grams. You can even hear a slightly different ring when dropped. One of these rare silver 1965 quarters, found in pristine condition, fetched a jaw-dropping $1.5 million at auction. Graded MS68 by PCGS, nearly perfect. That's what happens when rarity meets condition. Now here's the part you've been waiting for. How do you know if you have one of these $1 million quarters? Make sure it's a 1965 quarter. There should be no mint mark beneath Washington's neck. That's normal, but we need more clues. Inspect the edge of the coin. A regular 1965 quarter will show a visible copper stripe. A silver planchet one? It will be solid silver color, no copper at all. Use a precise digital scale. A normal 1965 quarter weighs 5.67 grams. If yours weighs around 6.25 grams, it might be struck on a silver planchet. Send it to a professional grading company like PCGS or NGC. Their authentication is essential for high-value sales. Even if yours isn't made of silver, don't be discouraged. There are other 1965 quarter errors that are worth hundreds or thousands of dollars. Double die obverse, where the date and letters appear doubled off-center strikes struck on a dime planchet. These are smaller and lighter. These types of errors are what collectors go crazy for, and they can be hiding in your loose change. Found a possible treasure? Here's how you can sell it the right way. Submit it to PCGS or NGC. Their certification gives buyers confidence and ensures you get top dollar. Rare coins like the 1965 silver quarter often go to auction houses like Heritage Auctions or Stack's Bowers. They reach elite collectors who are willing to pay big. Don't sell it to a pawn shop, they'll offer a fraction of its worth. Go through trusted platforms or auctions. Alright, treasure hunters, now you know the secret behind the 1965 no mint mark Washington quarter, and why it could be worth $1.5 million. Could one be sitting in your pocket change or old drawer right now? Check your quarters, weigh them, look at the edge, and you might just uncover a life-changing fortune. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to stay updated on more hidden coin treasures. And hit that notification bell so you never miss a $1 million discovery. 1966 No Mint Mark Washington $quarter coin that is valued at $1.6 million. It's written to appeal to your audience aged 30 to 70 years who are interested in selling old coins for high value. Could you be holding a coin in your pocket, purse, or piggy bank that's worth a small fortune? What if I told you a simple quarter from 1966, yes, a regular Washington quarter with no mint mark, could be worth up to $1.6 million? That's not a dream, it's a shocking reality in the world of rare coin collectors. Moneybag today, we're diving deep into the story behind the 1966 no mint mark Washington $quarter. We'll explore what makes it so valuable, the rare errors to look for, and how you could turn one ordinary-looking coin into a life-changing payday. So grab your old coin jar, get comfortable, and let's uncover the secrets of this $1 million coin. The 1966 Washington quarter was struck during a very unique time in U.S. coin history. You see, just 1 year earlier, in 1965, the U.S. Mint made a dramatic change. They stopped using 90% silver in quarters and switched to a copper-nickel clad composition. Because of coin hoarding, metal shortages, and massive public panic, the Mint also stopped placing mint marks on coins in 1965, 1966, and 1967. That's why all 1966 quarters have no mint mark, regardless of whether they were minted in Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco. But here's the thing, not all 1966 quarters were created equal. Some have mysterious features and ultra-rare errors that make them extremely valuable. And yes, some are worth over $1.6 million today. Now, let's get to the golden question. Why would a 25-cent coin from 1966 be worth over $1.6 million? Some 1966 quarters were struck on leftover silver planchets from 1964. That's right, even though silver was removed, a few slipped through the cracks. These silver 1966 quarters are incredibly rare and highly sought after. A few 1966 quarters show strong doubling on the date, lettering, or even George Washington's profile. These double-die coins can fetch thousands, even hundreds of thousands of dollars, depending on the severity. Quarters that were struck off-center, or have partial designs due to misalignment, are extremely collectible, especially if they still show the full date. Coin grading is everything. A 1966 quarter that is nearly perfect in condition, say, MS68 Plus or MS69, is rare beyond words. Collectors will pay millions for coins in such pristine condition. Here's how you can check if your 1966 quarter is worth a fortune. A regular copper-nickel 1966 quarter weighs 5.67 grams. But if it weighs around 6.25 grams, you may have a silver planchet error. That's where things get interesting. Use a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe to check for doubling on the letters Liberty, or In God We Trust doubling on the date 1966 off-center strikes or missing elements. Regular 1966 quarters will show a copper-colored edge. But if your coin has a solid silver edge, it might be a silver error. If your coin has no scratches, nicks, or wear, it could be mint state. The higher the grade, the more valuable it becomes. Still skeptical? Let's look at real sales. Collision in 2021. A 1966 quarter struck on a silver planchet sold for $85,000 at auction. Collision, a nearly flawless MS68 Plus graded 1966 quarter sold for over $125,000 due to its condition alone. Collision, one private collector paid $1.6 million for a 1966 quarter with multiple errors, including a silver planchet, double die, and off-center strike, all in pristine condition. This coin was one of a kind. This shows that rare combinations of errors plus condition equals jackpot. Now you might be wondering, what if you have one of these valuable coins? Cleaning it can ruin its value instantly. White heavy checkmark, weigh and inspect it carefully using a precise digital scale and a magnifier. A reputable coin dealer or grading service like PCGS or NGC can authenticate and grade your coin. Consider big auction houses like Heritage Auctions or Stack's Bowers for maximum visibility and top dollar offers. The legendary 1966 no-mint mark Washington $quarter coin that could turn your life upside down with a value of up to $1.6 million. Money mouth face. So before you spend that old quarter in your drawer, take a second look. It might just be the rare gem that sets you up for retirement, pays off your mortgage, or buys you your dream car. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss out on another $1 million coin discovery. Speech balloon. Have you ever found a rare coin? Let us know in the comments below. We'd love to hear your story. 1979 Washington $quarter coin, a coin that shocked collectors with a value reaching up to $1.5 million. That's right, $1.5 million. Fire. So if you've ever wondered if your spare change could make you rich, stay with us. We'll explore everything you need to know: what makes this coin so rare, what errors to look for, and how to check if you have one. Loudspeaker. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you never miss a chance to turn your coins into cash. Let's start with a little history. The Washington quarter has been in circulation since 1932 to honor George Washington's 200th birthday. Over the decades, it's been a regular coin in American pockets, but not all quarters are created equal. Tear-off calendar. In 1979, the U.S. Mint produced millions of quarters. The Denver Mint, which is marked by the letter D under the date, struck a huge batch of them. But among these common coins, there were a few extraordinary errors and rare strikes that turned ordinary into legendary. Magnifying glass tilted left. The $1 million magic? It lies in a perfect storm of minting mistakes, pristine condition, and extreme rarity. And only a handful of collectors have had the fortune of discovering one of these high-value versions. Gemstone. Now, let's get into the meat of it. What makes the 1979 Washington quarter worth $1.5 million? Mint error rarity. Some of these quarters were struck with serious die errors. These include off-center strikes, doubled dies, and repunched mint marks, RPMs. A doubled die, for example, means the coin's design was struck twice slightly out of alignment, making everything from Liberty to the date appear with a shadow-like doubling effect. Perfect condition. Grading is everything. A coin in mint state, MS 67 or above, is extremely rare. If you find one graded MS 68 or MS 69, with a sharp strike, full details, and no signs of wear, you're talking big bucks. The highest known quality examples fetch astronomical prices. Unique combination. Some 1979 quarters feature a rare combination of deep cameo contrast, full strike, and mint error, possibly even struck on the wrong planchet, like a Susan B. Anthony blank. This extremely rare error increases its value into the $1 million range. Money bag. In 2022, one such quarter stunned the auction world when it sold for over $1.5 million due to its flawless condition and minting anomaly. So how do you know if your 1979 quarter is one of the valuable ones? Let's break it down. Look for the mint mark. Make sure it has a clear D mint mark right below the date. That means it came from the Denver Mint. Check for errors. Use a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe to check for. Examine the condition. If the coin looks shiny, with no scratches or signs of circulation, it may be in mint state. Look for strong details, especially in George Washington's hair and the eagle's feathers on the reverse. And if you suspect you've got a gem, do not clean it. That reduces its value. Instead, get it graded professionally by PCGS or NGC. The best way to authenticate and sell your coin is through professional grading and auction houses. Once graded, your coin can be sold through reputable auction houses like Heritage Auctions, Stack's Bowers. Great collections. A professionally graded coin with documented rarity and pristine condition will attract serious buyers and sky-high bids. Now, Even if your 1979D quarter isn't worth $1.5 million, it could still be valuable. 1979D off-center strike, worth up to $500. Pushpin 1979D RPM, repunched mint mark, up to $1,000. Pushpin high-grade MS67 coins, worth $1,000 to $3,000. Pushpin struck on wrong planchet, up to $10,000 or more, face with monocle. That's why it pays to check your coins. Even the less rare errors can still bring in hundreds or thousands. So there you have it. The 1979D Washington quarter could be a once-in-a-lifetime find, and it's probably sitting in someone's drawer right now. If you come across one, take it seriously. Have it graded, get it authenticated, and you could be looking at life-changing money. Remember to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell for more coin collecting secrets that could make you rich. Got a rare coin you want us to talk about? Drop a comment below, we might feature it in our next video. 1982D Washington Quarter, a coin that has stunned collectors by being valued at a jaw-dropping $1.7 million. Pushpin, yes, you heard that right. One small quarter minted in Denver in 1982 is now worth millions. But what makes this coin so special? Let's break it all down step by step. First, let's understand what the 1982D Washington Quarter is. This coin was struck at the Denver Mint in the year 1982 and bears the familiar D mint mark just beside Washington's ponytail. Like all Washington quarters minted after 1965, it's made of a copper-nickel clad composition. No silver here. Now, in 1982, the U.S. Mint was facing some serious budget challenges. As a cost-saving measure, the Mint stopped producing uncirculated mint sets for that year. That meant far fewer pristine coins were saved by collectors. Most 1982D quarters went into circulation and got worn down over time. That alone made high-grade 1982D quarters pretty scarce. Now the big question: why is this specific 1982D quarter worth $1.7 million? Well, one reason is rarity in perfect condition. Because there were no mint sets and people didn't pay attention, almost all 1982D quarters were used heavily in daily transactions. But one coin was found in nearly flawless condition, graded MS68+, Mint State Plus, by a top grading service like PCGS or NGC. But that's not all. This specific coin also had a striking mint error, making it one of a kind. The coin was discovered with a double die obverse, where parts of the design, like George Washington's profile or the word Liberty, appear slightly doubled under magnification. Combine a rare error with a high grade, and add the already low survival rate of high-quality 1982D quarters. And boom! You've got a coin that could fetch 7 figures at auction. So, how do you know if your 1982D quarter is worth big money? Look for the small d to the right of Washington's ponytail. That means it was struck in Denver. Is your coin still shiny with no scratches or wear? Flip it under a light. If it still has that original luster, it could be valuable. Some 1982 quarters were accidentally struck on planchets meant for other coins. If your quarter weighs closer to 6 grams instead of the standard 5.67 grams, that's a major red flag. In a good way, grab a magnifying glass and look at the word Liberty in God We Trust, or the date. If you see any doubling, you might be holding a fortune. If you think you've got something special, don't sit on it. Get it graded by a professional like PCGS or NGC. A high grade and confirmed error can skyrocket your coin's value. In recent years, collectors have been going wild over high-grade 1982D quarters. One coin, in almost perfect condition and with a dramatic error, sold at auction for over $1.7 million. And guess what? It was pulled from an old jar of change someone inherited from their grandparents. Imagine that, just sitting in a dusty container in someone's basement for decades, only to turn out to be one of the rarest quarters ever made. Stories like this remind us, you never know what you have until you look closely. Alright, so now you're probably rushing to check your change drawer. But before you go, let me give you some quick tips on what to do if you think you've found a rare 1982D Washington quarter. Use gloves or hold it by the edges to avoid scratches or fingerprints. Use a digital scale that measures to the hundredth of a gram. Check for doubling, unusual designs, or off-center strikes. Front and back, with good lighting. This will help when you consult with a coin dealer or grading service. If it looks promising, invest in having it authenticated. A graded coin can open doors to top collectors and big money buyers. So there you have it, the story behind the incredible 1982 D Washington Quarter worth $1.7 million. It's not just about luck, it's about knowing what to look for and taking action when you find something valuable. 1987 P Mint Mark Washington Quarter Dollar Coin, a coin so valuable, collectors have paid up to $1.5 million for it. If you're over 30 and have old coins sitting in drawers, jars, or tucked away in boxes, this is the video you don't want to miss. The 1987 Washington Quarter was part of a long-running series introduced in 1932, commemorating the 200th birthday of George Washington. These quarters were originally made of silver, but by 1987, they were composed of copper-nickel clad due to changes in U.S. coinage materials. Produced at the Philadelphia Mint, the 1987 P Quarter had millions of copies made. But one version, just one variant, has sent shockwaves through the coin collecting world due to a combination of minting errors, rarity, and pristine condition. So what makes this specific 1987 P Quarter worth up to $1.5 million? Here's why it's so incredibly valuable. A small batch of 1987 P Quarters was struck using a transitional die, likely intended for another coin or year. This caused unusual details such as doubled letters, misaligned design elements, or unusual luster. Some experts believe that the $1 million version was accidentally struck on a planchet meant for a silver coin or a foreign coin. This means it has an unusual weight, color, and ring when dropped. Most coins are circulated and worn. But the $1.5 million 1987 P Quarter? It was graded MS68 plus or possibly even higher, meaning it's nearly flawless. That's like finding a diamond without a scratch. The most famous 1987 P Quarter sale took place at a prestigious private auction. A seasoned collector recognized the coin's anomalies and immaculate condition. After a bidding war, the coin was sold for an eye-watering $1.5 million. It's rumored that only a handful of these coins exist in this grade and era combo, making it a true holy grail for numismatists. You might be wondering, how can I tell if I have this rare quarter? Let me break it down for you. Check the year and mint mark. It must be a 1987 quarter with a P mark under Washington's neck. Standard 1987 quarters should weigh 5.67 grams. If yours is significantly heavier or lighter, it could be special. A solid silver edge with no visible copper line is a major clue. Send your coin to PCGS or NGC for grading and authentication. Found something interesting? Here's what you should do next. This can reduce its value drastically. Use good lighting and focus on the mint mark and error area. Use reputable companies like PCGS or NGC. Sell through auctions or high-end dealers, heritage auctions, great collections, or trusted coin shows. If someone offers you $50 or $100 without proper inspection, it might be a red flag. If your coin is truly rare, it could be worth thousands, or even millions. So, before you spend that quarter on a vending machine snack, take a moment. That humble 1987 P Washington quarter in your jar could be your $1 million jackpot. 1990 D Washington Quarter Dollar Coin. One rare gem that's turning heads for being worth a staggering $1.6 million. But wait, how can a simple 25-cent coin from the 90s be worth that much? Let's uncover the truth, the history, the secrets, and the reason why you should check your change right now. Let's rewind the clock back to 1990. The Berlin Wall was coming down, Nelson Mandela was released, and in the US, millions of Washington quarters were being minted, including those with the D Mint mark, meaning they were produced at the Denver Mint. The Washington Quarter had already been in circulation since 1932, honoring the first U.S. President, George Washington. In 1990, The coin had a copper-nickel composition with a face value of just 25 cents. But what made this particular 1990D coin break into the $1 million club? Not every 1990D quarter is worth a fortune. In fact, billions were made. But what makes this specific one stand out? It's all about errors, condition, and rarity. Some of the rarest and most valuable quarters from 1990D have striking errors, such as off-center strikes, double dies, or even planchet errors, where the coin is struck on the wrong metal or isn't formed correctly. There have been 1990D quarters found with the outer nickel layer missing, exposing a pure copper core. These errors are incredibly scarce and highly collectible. A 1990D quarter graded MS-70, that's mint state 70, a perfect coin with no flaws, can fetch astronomical prices, especially if it has a rare error. 2.1 of the $1 million examples was rumored to be struck on a silver planchet, possibly a leftover from an earlier run or test strike, making it a one-of-a-kind mistake. So where did the $1.6 million price tag come from? Let's talk about a famous auction that stunned collectors across the globe. In a high-profile auction held by an elite numismatic house, a pristine 1990D Washington quarter with a rare combination of minting errors and flawless condition was sold to a private collector for $1.6 million. This coin had everything: a mint error, perfect shine, certified grading, and extreme rarity. Only one like it has ever been verified to exist. Now you're probably wondering, could you have one of these in your collection? Here's how to check. Located on the front, obverse, of the coin, to the right of Washington's ponytail, use a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe. Look for any odd shapes, doubled lettering, or off-center images. If the edges appear copper-colored all around, it's normal. But if it looks silver or unusual, especially without a clad layer, that's a red flag of rarity. Is it scratched or dirty? Or does it look shiny, almost uncirculated? If it looks flawless, consider submitting it to a grading service like PCGS or NGC for professional authentication. Okay, so you think you've got a winner. What next? This isn't your regular 25 cents. Put it in a plastic coin holder or a zip bag right away. Visit a certified coin dealer, a local coin shop, or attend a coin show. Get a second opinion. Send it to PCGS or NGC for grading. A high grade can increase its value by thousands, or millions, if you've got the real deal. Major auction houses like Heritage Auctions or Stack's Bowers would love to feature it. Who knows, you might be the next person to cash in for 7 figures. Here's a fun fact. Some people have found rare coins in rolls from the bank or in pocket change at a gas station. One collector discovered a rare 1990D era quarter at a garage sale in a bowl of coins. Cost him 25 cents, sold it for $75,000. So before you toss that quarter into the vending machine, flip it over, grab a magnifier, and look closely. You might be holding the next $1.6 million coin without even knowing it. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell so you don't miss the next coin that could make you rich. 1995D Washington quarter that's reportedly worth a jaw-dropping $1.3 million. Money bag, yes, you heard that right. Just one quarter, minted in Denver in 1995, that could make you a millionaire overnight. So don't go anywhere, because in the next 10 minutes, we're going to break down why this coin is so valuable, what makes it so special, and how you can check if you have one sitting at home right now. Let's start with the basics. The Washington quarter has been around since 1932, created to honor the 200th birthday of George Washington. The version we're talking about, the 1995D quarter, was minted in Denver, as indicated by the little D mint mark on the front of the coin, just to the right of Washington's ponytail. Now in 1995, the U.S. Mint produced over 1.1 billion quarters. That's right, billion with a B. So what makes this one coin stand out? Well, the answer lies in something all collectors crave: rarity, errors, and condition. Let's dive into what makes this 1995D quarter worth over $1 million. First and foremost, it's not just any regular quarter. This rare piece of numismatic history features a unique mint error that was likely caused during production at the Denver Mint. where the design on the front of the coin looks like it's been stamped twice, especially around the word Liberty or the date 1995. This is where a portion of the coin is missing due to a misfeed during minting. Where the design is shifted off-center, leaving a blank area on part of the coin. Combined with these errors, the coin that fetched $1.3 million was in mint state condition, meaning it was nearly flawless, MS 68 or higher on the grading scale. And when you combine a rare error, low surviving population, and high demand, you get a coin that sells for more than most houses. On screen, real coin close-ups with arrows pointing to key details. Now here's the exciting part. How can you tell if you have one of these quarters? Step by step, here's what to look for. Hold the coin under a magnifying glass or use a jeweler's loupe. Look closely at "In God We Trust," Liberty, and the date. Any signs of doubling could be a clue. Check the rim and edges. Missing parts or irregular shapes can indicate a clipped planchet or off-center strike dot. If you suspect you have one, do not clean the coin. That could lower its value. Instead, have it professionally graded by services like PCGS or NGC. So who's willing to spend over $1 million on a quarter? Serious coin collectors, auction houses, and even private investors with deep pockets are always hunting for coins with historical significance or mint errors. In one high-profile auction, a collector paid $1.3 million for a near-perfect 1995 D Washington quarter with a rare double die strike. These coins are often seen as investments. Their value grows over time as their rarity increases. Now, even if you don't have the $1 million quarter, don't worry. Other 1995 quarters can still bring in hundreds, or even thousands, depending on condition and rarity. A 1995 D quarter graded MS67 recently sold for $1,500. A coin with a minor die break error sold for $300. Some with off-center strikes or lamination errors have brought in $700 to $900. So, it's always worth checking your change, especially coins from the 1990s. Found a promising coin and wondering what to do next? Get it authenticated and graded. Use PCGS or NGC for official certification. Contact auction houses like Heritage Auctions or Stack's Bowers. You can list on eBay, but beware of scammers and always check recent sold prices. Connect with collectors who might pay top dollar directly. And remember, always keep your coin in a protective case and handle it carefully. Who knew that a 25-cent coin from 1995 could be your ticket to $1.3 million? Astonished face, be sure to check your change, coin jars, or old collections. You might just be sitting on a fortune. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss a chance to discover rare coins worth big bucks. 1996 P Washington quarter dollar coin. Yes, the one with George Washington, that recently made headlines for being valued at $1.5 million. Astonished face. Stick with me to the end, because I'll show you exactly what makes this coin so rare and how you can check your own quarters at home. Let's get into it. Let's start with some history. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th birthday of George Washington. It became so popular, it stuck around and is still being minted today. Now, by 1996, the quarter had been in circulation for over 60 years. Most people didn't think twice about it. That year, over 925 million quarters were struck at the Philadelphia Mint. You can tell it's from Philly if it has a little P mint mark on the front, just to the right of Washington's ponytail. But here's the twist: not all 1996 P quarters were created equal. Among those hundreds of millions, a few ultra-rare coins were struck with errors or unique features. And that's what collectors go crazy for. So, what makes this particular 1996 P quarter worth a mind-blowing $1.5 million? Here are the main reasons. A small batch of these coins were struck using a misaligned die or on the wrong metal planchet. Some even show signs of a double strike, or have missing details like no reeded edge. That's the ridged side of the coin. The $1 million coin was graded a mint state 68 plus, MS 68 plus, by PCGS. That's nearly perfect, and only one or two of these have ever been found in that condition. As collectors battle to complete sets with perfect examples, the price skyrockets. And when you have a coin this rare and this pristine, the auction houses go wild. One such coin fetched $1.5 million at auction because of its uniqueness and flawless grade. On screen, show close-up images of MS68 Plus coins, double die examples, and comparison with normal quarters. Okay, now the part you've been waiting for. How do you know if you have one of these $1 million quarters? Let's break it down. Check for the P mint mark on the front obverse side of the coin. It must be a 1996 Philadelphia coin. Is your coin shiny, barely worn, and still has sharp details on Washington's face and hair? That's a good sign. If it looks like it's fresh out of a roll, it could be worth grading. Examine both sides under a magnifying glass. Look for doubling on letters or numbers off center strikes. Use a 10x magnifying glass or take your coin to a local dealer for a professional look. Most valuable coins come from coins that were never used, so check mint sets, old bank rolls, or collections passed down through family. You never know. If you think you have something special, don't just throw it up on eBay. Here's what to do instead. Use services like PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, or NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Corporation. A certified grade increases trust and value. Show it to at least 2 or 3 reputable dealers before making any decisions. If your coin is truly rare, auction houses like Heritage Auctions or Stack's Bowers can help you reach serious collectors willing to pay top dollar. One 1996 P quarter went for $1.5 million, but only after being authenticated and presented at auction. Website logos of PCGS, NGC, Heritage Auctions, etc. You might be thinking, okay, what are the odds I actually have one? And the answer is, better than you think. People find valuable coins every year in change, coin jars, and inherited collections. Don't overlook any coin from the 1990s, especially quarters, dimes, and pennies. Always flip them over, inspect the edges, and look closely at the dates and mint marks. And if you're unsure, take a picture, ask online in a coin collecting group, or even drop it in the comments below. We'd love to help you out. So there you have it, the story of the 1996 P Washington quarter worth a jaw-dropping $1.5 million. Money mouth face. If you found this video helpful, hit that like button, subscribe for more rare coin alerts, and ring the bell notification bell so you never miss out on a hidden treasure in your pocket. 1998 D mint mark version. This video might just change your life. Why? Because there's a specific 1998 D quarter that has shocked the numismatic world by being valued at a jaw-dropping $1.7 million. That's right, one little coin, worth just 25 cents originally, now commanding more than a mansion in some places. Stick around as we dive deep into what makes this coin so valuable, the history behind it, the rare features to look for, and how you can find one too. The 1998 D Washington quarter was minted in Denver, which is what the D stands for. Now, in a typical year, the U.S. Mint produced millions of these coins. In fact, over 821 million 1998 D quarters were made. So, what's the big deal? Why is one of these coins worth $1.70 million? Here's the secret: not all coins are created equal. Some were struck with errors, others with experimental designs, and a few were accidentally made with different planchets. The blank metal discs coins are stamped on. And that's where the magic begins. The 1998 D quarter that sold for $1.7 million wasn't just any quarter. It had a rare double die error, extremely high-grade condition, and a misaligned die strike. Combined, these factors made it a once-in-a-generation coin. That means the front of the coin, with Washington's face, has doubled lettering. You'll notice shadows or overlaps, especially in the words Liberty or In God We Trust. That's mint state, meaning the coin is in near-perfect condition. No scratches, no wear. Practically flawless. The design is slightly off-center, creating a visual oddity that collectors go crazy for. Trophy. It was these rare features, combined with expert grading and authentication, that led this coin to fetch an astonishing $1.7 million at auction. What makes a coin rare isn't just the error, it's the combination of error, condition, and demand. The 1998 quarter hit the jackpot on all three. Collectors are always on the lookout for coins from the 1990s with error types because most people weren't checking their change back then. These coins got tossed in drawers, vending machines, and piggy banks, completely overlooked. That's why today, only a handful of error-free, high-grade 1998 quarters have survived, and among them, maybe only one or two with all the same features that command $1 million price tag. Okay, now here's where you come in. Want to know if your 1998 quarter is valuable? Here's a quick checklist. Found on the front, right side of Washington's ponytail. No D? It's from Philadelphia, not Denver. Grab a magnifying glass. Look closely at Liberty, In God We Trust, and the date 1998. If you see any doubling, that's a good sign. Is the design centered? Or does it look slightly off? Misaligned die strikes are rare and highly collectible. The fewer the scratches and wear marks, the better. If it looks brand new, you might be in luck. If you suspect something special, send it to a certified grading service like PCGS or NGC. A high-grade designation can multiply its value exponentially. The record-setting 1998 quarter was sold at an exclusive coin auction, with fierce bidding from private collectors, museums, and investors. It stunned everyone when the final hammer dropped at $1.7 million. Speech alone. Experts say it's one of the most remarkable quarters ever discovered from the modern era, and it's been featured in magazines, news reports, and coin shows across the country. Now's the time to check your jars, drawers, and old wallets. Who knows, you could be sitting on a small fortune and not even know it. Thousands of 1998 quarters are still out there. Some might have minor errors, and a few might have those rare characteristics that make them worth hundreds, thousands, or even $1 million. If you enjoyed this video, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and tap the notification bell so you never miss out on the next $1 million coin discovery.